hand up to the top. E, good. N, Eddie. E, D, and Y. John F. Kennedy. And Kennedy, he was the president. And at the time, he called a session in Congress. C-O-N-G-R-E-S-S. Let's spell Congress to work on our aim. Ready? Congress. Congress. Up to the top. C-N-O-N and Gress. G, Res. R up the top. Cress. S-S. Congress. Okay? So he called on Congress. This was May 25th, 1961. Said he wanted man to land on the moon and come back safely before the decade ended. Okay? So, when did he want him back? By the end of the D, moving hand, E, de, then K. Okay, C first. C and then your A. A, decade, yes, and E, yes. You want them to be back before the end of the decade. Before the, that's decade is how many years? Do you know?
Do you know?
How many years is a decade?
How many years is a decade?
Just tell me. Yeah, go ahead. A decade is 6. A decade is 10 years. T-E-N, 10 years. How long is a decade? Oops, careful. T, lift it up. E and N. Spell 10 again, nice and clearly.
10.
T, E, and N. 10 years. So if you say a century, cent means 100. So century is how many years? Careful. Century is, walk across the board. Century is how many years? O, N, and, lift it up. E, 1. Century. 1. H is right. H is right. H, move your hand down. All the way into it. U, hun. Oopsies. Hun, now dread. Dread. Where's your dust sound? D, red. R, lift it up. E and D. Yes, 100 years.
Attention.
And a millennium is, millennium means 1,000. So a millennium is how many years? Millennium means 1,000. A millennium is therefore how many years? T. Good.
What do you say? Excuse me.
Oops, look at the T. T, lift your hand. Careful. Down to it. Oh, thou. H, O, U, sand. S, A, N, D. 1,000 years. Okay, so he wanted, though, in 10 years, he wanted people to land on the moon safely and come back. So what's the key word? He wanted them to land on the moon. How? Oh, careful. How do you want them to land on the moon? He wanted the people to land safely on the moon. How do you want them to land on the moon? You want them to land, careful, safely. S, that's it. A, over there, F, E, Lee. L and Y, safely on the moon, then come back to Earth safely. So they wanted their safety was first. Wanted them safe. So he asked Congress. Congress makes the laws. So I said to you, hey, do you know what Congress does? You'll say, yes, they make the, what do we say? Congress makes the laws. What do they do? Congress makes the
Laws.
Laws. So we do the L, law, A, then W is how it spells. And laws. Yeah. It sounds like O, doesn't it? Like law, but it's L-A-W-S. Laws. Okay? Now, so he wants them to make the laws. Another word for law would be what? Why don't you try R? R and U could work. U, rule. Well, your L is good. L, rule. Next letter in rule. L and, my goodness, let's spell rule. R, U, L, and E. There we go. Another word for law is rule. You'll get there, don't worry. You'll get is rule. Now, so we have laws. There are rules. Laws and rules keep us
Safe.
S, yes. A, F, and E, yes. Laws and rules keep us safe. I want to be safe so I can I want to be safe so I can. L. Okay, L could work. L. With your hand. L.
So you need
So I can L.
help. Okay.
Real word. Real word. One. Which one? Go out to L. L and E. L E D. Lead. Okay. C E D. And that's kid. So I want to be safe so I can lead a good life, or so I can make lead. So I can what?
Make.
Oh, you want to make some lead? Okay, M-A. Go ahead. K first. K. E, make lead. L-E-D. You want to make lead. Now, I would think you actually want to have a good life. So lead a good life. Lead a good life, and it might involve making lead for something. So we want to spell lead a good life. Lead. Where's your last sound? Lead. L. E, lift it over. A. D, lead a. Now good. Good. Good sound. G. O, and D, good. Now you're going to do life. L, I, F, and E, yes. So they're going to land on the moon and come back. So people got to work. So Congress said that'd be great. At the time, country called Russia. Or the Soviet Union is where it was at. Is where Russia, not only Russia is. The Soviet Union. So what country was there? Country called, careful, what's it called? S, careful. O, so, V, like the I first, et. E and T, Soviet. U, a little higher. Yun, young. E, I first, I, on. O, get your O, O and N, yes. Soviet Union.
Do?
Okay, so the Soviet Union was the country, and the U.S. was trailing the Soviet Union in space development. The U.S. was trailing the Soviet Union in what development? S, good. P, lift it up. A, C, E, space development. So U.S. wanted to go, we want to win, go USA! So, what they ended up doing was doing that just by going to the moon. So NASA came about. Okay, so what came about? You have to listen very carefully. S-N-A, sa. Okay, what N? N, A, now sa. S and A. NASA came about. So the National Association of Space and Neuroscience, something like that. So this was the year 1961 that Mr. Kennedy, President Kennedy, 1961, said to them, we need to have, we need to win this race. Okay, so what year are we in? We're in the year what? Careful. 1 and 9, 6 and, look it up. 1, yes, 1961. So then, by 1966, 5 years after its announcement, they sent the first unmanned Apollo mission. Apollo, A-P-O-L-L-O. So all these missions you're going to hear about are called Apollo. All the missions are called what? Up at the top, Apollo. A-P-Ollo. Ollo. O. Careful there. L-L and O. Apollo mission. So, they have the Apollo mission and the first one was unmanned. That means no man was operating it. So unmanned space mission to the moon. Okay? So they started testing this. Testing the structural integrity. That means the framework of this rocket ship. They're testing to see, is it going to take them safely back? Okay? So they were doing what? They were running a T. Lift it up. Oops, over here. Sorry. E and okay. Back to T. T, lift it up. E, come down, skip the letters that you don't need. S, S, T. There we go. You don't want to walk the board. Okay, you don't want to do the boardwalk on the board. You just gotta touch, and the letters you need, you pick. Like that. Okay? So you're gonna test the Apollo missions. And so, they did. They sent a vehicle and spacecraft combination. What did they send up? Oh, careful though. That's too many walking. Start again.
You're a good.
Set what up? A spacecraft and what else combination? V, there we go. E, H, I, C, L, and E, a vehicle combination. They sent it up into the sky. So tell me a vehicle. Name of vehicle is a T. T, lift your hand up to the next letter. T, R, U, R, and what? U. So by the T, T, R, and U. Lift your hand up. C, there we go. And K, a truck. Yes. So they said truck. A truck could be a vehicle. But they didn't send that up there. It's different. What else is a vehicle? H, D, oh my goodness. A vehicle. A truck, a, okay, P, L, A, N, E, airplane. Airplane. What else?
Car.
C, A, R. Now you're thinking. There's your brain. Just teasing you. Car. T, R, A, I. And holy cow, you can spell. You're hiding. Train. What else? Anything else you can think of? N. Oops.
Taxi.
Taxi, okay. T, A, X, I. Taxi. Okay, so those are some vehicles there. They sent a different vehicle. It was a vehicle made for space. They sent it up there. And they kept on working on this plane, doing lots of different missions up into space. Until finally, actually some people died in the process. On in May, where are we at? Oh, July, excuse me. July 16th, 1969. They went off into space in Apollo 11. So what was it?
So
Oops, careful. A, watch it, A, now next letter, A, P, way over here, O, low, L, L, and O, Apollo. Yes, Apollo 11. They went up into space. And there, with the whole world watching, they went up in space from Florida. Where did they go up in space from? Lift your hand and find the letter. F, L, O, R, I, D, and A, Florida. They went up in space in Florida, and there was a guy named Neil Armstrong, and a man named Edwin Aldrin Jr. and Michael Collins. They got on the spaceship, and they took off. Oops, good thing your shirt wasn't really there. Into space. So how many people went into space? 10. That would be awesome. What did we just say?